Hey, thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to be talking about a few of my favorite plugins for DAWs. So some of them are synthesizers, some of them are effects. Yeah, I'm just going to be going over my favorites because everybody loves free stuff. So these are my favorite free plugins. Let's go. Okay, so first off, we're gonna look at a synth. So I just actually found out about this one today, and it's called Vital. People are saying it's like the serum killer, and I don't like to compare synths, but it's pretty good. Okay, so what we have here is we have 4 oscillators. 3 you can actually like change the wave tables. They're just wave shaping oscillators. And then the 4th one is just noise, which is pretty cool. Then we have 2 filters with a whole bunch of filter types that we'll go into. We got some macros, we got some pitch and mod wheel stuff here, and then we have some envelopes, we have some LFOs. If we go in here, we have a whole bunch of effects, and then we have a matrix where we can change all our values that we've assigned. And then we have some advanced stuff that I wouldn't usually use. So let's start off with the oscillators here. So I just have it set to a basic saw, so you can just hear like, yeah, really basic, just saw stuff. It is a poly, so can do chords. Let's put in a unison right here. Let's go like 4 voices, and let's tune it down to like 2. Sounds really nice. I think we could put a filter on it. I really like the ladder filters, especially like the 24 decibel ladder filter. It's very, very mogy, very nice. So just overdrive it a little bit. That's nice. Let's try the dirty filter, actually. Let's try that with a whole bunch of resonance and drive. Oh, I gotta turn that down. Nice. That sounds really good. Yeah, let's go back to this. Let's just kind of go more of a more tame sound. Cool. So yeah, we can mess around with the envelopes over here. What I like to do is turn the release down a little bit from the default. The default's a little bit high, and then it's fine. Then we'll take the second one, we'll do kind of the same thing, but then we're gonna turn the sustain down and then adjust this curve a little bit, and we'll throw it on here. What's really cool, watch this. So this is something that Serum doesn't do, is it's like live parameters. So watch this, I can hold chord, and before I've even assigned it, I haven't let go of the mouse yet. I can see what this is gonna do. So that's really cool, honestly. I really like that. Let's put some magic on this. I'm just gonna drag some dead mouse MIDI over here. Totally copyright free. Man, that sounds good. We can adjust that down a little bit. Actually, let's adjust this to 2. Let's put in another oscillator right here, and then let's transpose it up 12. Put it to 2. Turn down the unison. Yeah. Oh, that one isn't on the filter. There it is. That's the pluck, guys. That is it. So that's really cool. Let's try out the reverb. I want to see how that sounds. I haven't actually tried any of these effects yet.
2,000 years later.
Wow, that is really nice. Let's try out the chorus. That always sounds good. Ooh, ooh. Huh. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's try out the delay, actually. I judge a synth by its delay capabilities. We're gonna go ping pong. I like that. Yeah, so this is just a really, really cool synth. I think there's a lot to mess around with here. You know, you have like filters and EQs and some... Actually, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna try out the distortion. We're gonna see how it goes. Let's go hard click. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's dirty. Oh, that's fun. Ooh. I'm gonna be using that. Okay, yeah, that sounds really good. So, yeah, this thing sounds real good. It's a real good synth, and it's free. There are actually 3 different editions, I think. Or 4, I guess, if you include the subscription model one. Basically, it's the free one, which I have. There's the $25 version, which has a few more presets. And then there's a $80 one, I think, that has a ton of presets. Just a ton of presets, tons of wavetables. And then there's also a subscription one, which is basically like the maxed out one, but it has a whole bunch of extra stuff. So, real cool stuff. Would definitely recommend this. I mean, if you can't afford Serum, this is kind of like... You just use this and 3 exhaust and you're good. All right, so let's disable all the effects on this because the next things that I want to explore are effects plugins. So first we're going to be exploring this thing right here. This is called Tal Chorus LX. I have never heard any chorus that sounds this good. Expensive choruses, analog choruses, chorus pedals. I've never heard one that sounds this good. It's so good. It just sounds like, you know what? I'm just gonna let you hear it. It's so good, and it pairs really well with a lot of other plugins too, like reverbs and delays. Oh, so good. All right, so this is pretty simple. There's not really a whole lot to explain. I mean, just there are like 3 knobs and then 2 chorus models, so it's really simple and you can't really mess it up. So let's go into the next one. This next one is called Valhalla Supermassive. Boy, is this my favorite reverb right now. It's so many things. It's got awesome stuff. It's you know, so obviously it's a delay here. It's got like ambience, chorus, ensemble, flangers. It's got reverbs. It's got a whole bunch of weird sound effects. It's so good. But basically, I've made a preset here that I like to use a lot with just a little bit of messing with here, and I'll just let you listen to it. It's beautiful. It's so shimmery and nice and free. No, seriously, this is a really fantastic reverb, and Up until this point, I was actually using here. It's another free plugin. It's called Fruity Reeverb 2. Seriously, it's for a stock reverb. You can't complain. I mean, it doesn't sound that bad. I mean, it's not gonna blow you away, but it's a stock reverb. It's free and it sounds pretty decent. So, I mean, why not? So yeah, let's go back to Supermassive here. Let's get rid of this stupid reverb right here. And then, actually, we're gonna talk about another stock plugin that I use way too much, and it's Fruity Delay 3. So, you heard the ping pong delay. I love using that. We're gonna make it again. One thing that I like to do with delays, really good tip right here. Type in value, so it's 0.12. Let's set it to 0.122. Look, so it looks like it's on, but it's not quite because that little dot isn't lit up. And this adds so much flavor. It adds so much additional flavor just to have it a little bit off. So we're gonna listen to it on. Then we're gonna listen to it off. Right? Listen to how much that thickens it up. Yeah, that's just under. That's kind of the sweet spot for underneath. Now let's go over. 0.125. Oh, dude, that sounds so good. So yeah, obviously there are a lot of parameters you can tweak here. You know, you can do ping pongs, you can do stereo reverbs. I really like mono reverbs, especially like with a high pass. Just there's so many little like things you control here. It's great. It's honestly a really good delay plugin for being free. So yeah, I'm obviously this is all interacting with synths over here. I mean, this chorus right here is literally just ripped straight from a Juno. Like it's modeled after a Juno's chorus circuit. So let's get out of all this stuff over here and let's talk about some other awesome stuff. All right, so let's talk about this right here. This is my favorite filter plugin. Right here, it's made by the same people who made Serum, real great, or same guy, I guess. Hello, Steve Duda. It does its job. Nothing really to say about it. I mean, like, and change the resonance. Kind of get less pronounced effect. Kind of make it sound a little lo-fi. Oh, headphone warning. And then you can change the drive. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, that sounds real cool. Yeah, so it's a filter. It's just a filter, that's all it is. But it's so useful. I use it a lot for like cutoff automation, for filter automation, like in drops and buildups and stuff. And there's one knob, so it's very little to mess up. So yeah, I really like it. I think it works really well. It does its job, really simple, real great, real great. Okay, so for the next few, I'm actually going to move into a full project here. I've just loaded up The Space Between, which is a song that's coming out on April 4th, by the way. Just a little teaser. So yeah, I have OTT, Leveling Tool, and Ozone. We'll go over all of those. I know Ozone isn't free, but hold on. So OTT right here is by the same people that make Serum as well. Very, very, very useful. It is a multi-band compressor, as you can see. So we have the high, mid, and low bands. We have a depth knob that is kind of like the wet dry knob basically. And then we have an input gain and an output gain, and then a time, so kind of like, you know, attack, release, whatever. And then we have downwards and upwards. So we can change the levels of high, mid, and low, and then also the amount that they're being compressed, which is really cool. So right here, it's not really doing a whole lot. It's just kind of gluing it all together. So this is with, and then actually without, it's going to be really loud, so I'm going to turn that down. So you can see just, you know, with it, it sounds just a little bit more natural and balanced, right? So very, very handy little plugin. I definitely recommend it, but don't go too far with it. It's really easy to get caught up in OTT and go way too far. Or should I say, go a little over the top. All right, moving on from that atrocity. We are going into leveling tool, which is, it's really good. It's basically just a tube leveler, so it's, you know, modeled after tube circuitry and whatnot. Just a whole bunch of vintage tube levelers. So what it's got is it's got a high pass filter, which I just turn all the way up because I don't ever use it. And then we have a drive, which is really nice. I usually set that at 0, but for some of my like analog projects recently, like this, which has a lot of analog synths and kind of needs a little bit of texture, I like turning the drive up a little bit, not too far, but just a little bit. And then it's got an output gain. It's got a peak reduction, so that's kind of like your threshold. And then it's also got attack, release, ratio, and then your dry and wet ratio. So here I have it basically set to a limiter. I don't really have the ratio set as it would as a compressor. And then I have the attack and the release way, way up. I'm not really using this to actually, like, you know, reduce peaks. I'm really just using it for the flavor that it adds and just kind of, you know, leveling stuff a little bit, very softly. So you'll see when I start playing, it doesn't do anything right now. It's just adding a little flavor. And then over here, it's barely doing anything. The meter is barely moving at all. It's really just not doing a whole lot. But it's making it sound very nice and warm and rich, and that's what I really like about this plugin. So, on to what you were probably angry about, saying, Forrest, this isn't a free plugin! Well, no, it's not, but it is. But what are you doing there, mate? It is kind of a free plugin. I got it for free. Sometimes when Isotope comes out with new versions of Ozone, they'll do a little, like, kind of giveaway season, be like, here's the Elements version for free. Here you go. Here's a freebie. Get the advanced version because we want your money. But really, honestly, I really, really like even the Elements version. It's very nice. It's got this very awesome EQ here. It's got an imager, so you can change your stereo width, just kind of a, you know, classic stereo width changer. And then it's got this stereo eyes here, which is really cool. So basically it has the ability to kind of shape the whole mix and make it more, you know, big sounding. It also makes it a lot more loud, so you have to be careful with that. But it does make it a lot more big sounding. And then there's also an effect that you can use here, which uses a little bit of a delay to make that effect. So it delays it in one ear, and the other ear is just kind of the original, so it makes it seem bigger. It's really weird, but it's something you can do with guitars too. If you have like 2 guitar tracks and you want to beef it up, just duplicate the track, put it left and right, and then just delay one of them, and it's going to sound way bigger. Little producer tip right there. This thing isn't really doing a whole lot either. Really, I just like to use it for the maximizer, which basically just takes it, puts it through, levels it so there's no stupid peaking above 0 dB. So you can see here it's doing very little to actually change the gain of the track, but it's doing a little bit, just making sure it kind of stays in check. And then one important section that you gotta look at right here is the threshold and the ceiling, and then also the character, because changing the character from slow to fast really changes how your mix sounds. If it's fast, it's really really punchy, and then if it's slow, then it just sounds really nice and smooth and awesome. And there's also a transient emphasis right here, but I never use that, but you could use it if you want. So we actually have 2 modes right here for the leveler, and the first one they say is smooth and thick, limiting for a rich sound, and that sounds bad, but hey, it sounds really good. And then this one is a kind of a more digital sounding one, you know, it's clear and sharp, so it preserves the peaks, and it's, you know, less soft and rich and warm and stuff, and kind of has more of a punchy kind of vibe. I like to use this one because, you know, analog is my thing. That's what I do. So, yeah, I think this plugin is overall very, very useful, and I use it on literally every song I make. So yeah, those are some of my favorite pieces of software for DAWs. Hope you enjoyed and found it useful. Like and sub. See you next time. Stay PG.